Hey guys, today me try understand why different shiny rocks worth different amount in different tribes, and me already feel brain melt. Picture this. Cavemen walk into market in faraway land. Me carry bag of US dollar stones ready to trade for fine German spear. But trader look at my dollar stone and say, this worth only 90 euro cents. Caveman confused. Me think, stone still same size, why it shrink in power? Next moon, cavemen go to Vietnam tribe. Me hand them $1 stone and they give me 25,000 dong stones back. Caveman's eyes go wide. Wow, me rich now. But no, local elder laugh and say, me can only buy small bowl of noodles. Caveman feel scammed by magic number trick. If you no learn this, you end up cold, broke, and alone in mud pit, wondering why your shiny rocks no buy same amount of mammoth everywhere. Before you sit comfy on mammoth skin, smash like button and hit magic scribe stick, but only if what me say make you smile or think. Tell cavemen in comments, where your cave, what moon time. Now grab your stone seat, hold on to your beard, and let's walk into the firelight of today's hunt. Cavemen now sit by fire and think how $1 stone can buy big meat in one land, but only tiny berry in another. Young tribe trader explained to me this called currency value. Every tribe have own shiny rock with own power. In America, they use US dollar. In Germany, they use euro. In Vietnam, they use dong. Caveman scratch head. Why not make all shiny rocks equal? $1, €1, 1 dong. Easy. Trader laugh like me, just say fire come from ice, he explained. Tribe rocks no have same worth because each tribe's fire, food, and trade different. Some tribes strong, others weak. It like when one hunter bring back big mammoth and another only catch skinny rabbit. Hunter with mammoth meat can trade more for furs and berries. Hunter with rabbit, he get laughed at and sent to pick mushrooms. So in money world, strong tribe rocks get more respect. Weak tribe rocks, not so much. Cavemen start to see value of shiny rock not about size or look. It's about what tribe behind it can do. Cavemen notice something strange. Modern tribe people stare at glowing stone all day, numbers changing every second. They call it exchange rate. Cavemen think maybe they tracking mammoth herd, but no, they tracking how much one shiny rock worth compared to another shiny rock. When number go up, tribe cheer like big hunt success. When number go down, they groan like spear snap mid-hunt. Cavemen ask, why you care so much? Trader say, because if I travel or trade with other tribe, rate decide how much I can buy. Cavemen realize this like barter day back in old tribe. If berries worth more today, you can trade less berries for same spear. But if berries worth less, you carry whole basket and still not get spear tip. Caveman tried join in game. He watched dollar to euro change. Think me can guess when to trade. But instead of profit, cavemen end up with bag of coins that worth less than squirrel tail. Me realize, exchange rate not just trade, it like river, always moving. You jump in wrong time, you get swept away. Now cavemen see why tribe obsessed, but also why easy to get burned. One moon, cavemen travel to far tribe to trade fine mammoth hide. Me think hide worth plenty. At home, hide can buy whole feast, but when me get there, trader weigh it, look at me and say, you get this much in our shiny rocks. Cavemen count it less than half of what me expect. Me roar, you cheat caveman. Trader shrug and point to board with strange moving numbers. Exchange rate, he say, your shiny rock worth less here today than yesterday. Cavemen feel like spear just stab own foot, me no value can change so fast. In old tribe, one spear always worth one spear. But here, shiny rock worth changes like mood of mother-in-law. One day warm, next day throw club at head. Worse, by time cavemen walk to next market, value drop again. Now me can buy even less. Tribe laugh at poor cavemen who know watch rates before trading. Lesson burned into brain. In modern world, you no just need good goods. You need good timing, else shiny rock turn to pebble before you can spend it. After caveman's market disaster, wise elder from traveling merchant tribe sit me down, he say, long ago shiny rocks had real shiny backing, gold. Elder explained this thing called gold standard. In old money world, every paper or coin could be traded for certain amount of gold. So if tribes say one coin worth small gold nugget, you could actually go to chief's chest and swap it. Caveman nod, this makes sense. Gold rare, hard to dig, shiny like mammoth fat on fire. With gold standard, tribes know just print shiny rocks whenever they feel greedy. If they want more money, they need more gold first. That kept shiny rock value steady like well-built spear. But elders say as tribes grew, traded more, fought wars, they run into problem. Not enough gold for all shiny rocks. Wars, crises, big projects. Tribes needed more money than gold could back. So by 1970s, most tribes dropped gold standard and moved to new magic, fiat money, shiny rocks backed only by government promise. Caveman frown. So shiny rock now just pretend, Elder grin. Yes, pretend, but pretend everyone agrees to believe in. Cavemen realize modern shiny rock like fire dance story, only powerful because tribes still believe. Now that shiny rock's not backed by gold, value come from supply and demand. Cavemen squint. Like when more hunters want mammoth meat, price go up, Elder nod. Exactly. If many people around the world want your tribe's shiny rock, maybe because your tribe's strong, makes good trade goods, or has stable rules, then demand high, value strong. But if nobody want your shiny rock, value fall like rotten fruit from tree. Elder gives scary story. Zimbabwe. In the 1980s, one Zimbabwe dollar worth more than US dollar. But then bad farming plan, corruption, and too much shiny rock printing make disaster. Soon, one US dollar could buy almost 600,000 Zimbabwe dollars. Tribe had to carry bags of money just to buy bread. Caveman imagine hunting with giant sack of berries that only buy one rabbit, me shiver. This is called inflation, when shiny rocks lose value because too many exist compared to goods you can trade for. Cavemen learn, more money not always mean more wealth. Sometimes more money just mean each one worth less. So now cavemen see, fiat shiny rocks live and die by trust, demand, and not making too many, or else they turn into useless pebbles. Caveman sit by fire, still thinking about supply and demand, when young trader whisper new magic word, interest rate. He explained interest rate is like cost of borrowing shiny rocks. If you borrow 1,000 stones at 10%, you give back 1,000 plus 100 extra stones, caveman grunt. So higher rate, more you pay back? Trader nod. But here's twist. High interest can also attract foreign hunters. If tribe offers high return on shiny rocks, outsiders come running to invest. But to invest, they first must buy your tribe's shiny rocks. That push value up. Trader give example. US interest higher than Germany's. Investors might sell euros and buy US dollars to invest in American bonds or savings. This make dollar stronger. But if US interest drops, hunters might go hunt elsewhere. Demand falls, dollar weakens. Cavemen see danger. High interest good for attracting hunters, but bad for tribe borrowing. When borrowing costly, fewer huts get built, fewer spears get made. Tribe can slow down. So chief central bank must balance rate carefully. Too high, tribe choke. Too low, shiny rock lose lure. Cavemen think interest rate like bait on hook. Too much, you scare fish. Too little, fish swim away. Merchant elder tell cavemen another secret. Foreign hunters only bring shiny rocks to tribes that feel safe. He give example of China in late 1970s. China opened gates to outside traders. Foreign tribes rush in to build factories, hire workers, buy land. But to do that, they first need Chinese yuan. This push demand for yuan up, make it stronger. Caveman nod. So to get strong, shiny rock, tribe must look strong, yes, elder grin. Not just strong, stable. Foreign hunters want tribe where rules don't change every moon. If today chief promise low trade tax, but tomorrow raise it, hunters lose trust and pack up. If protests, strikes, or fights happen too often, factories close, goods stop flowing, and hunters run. Stable economy also key. If tribe drowning in debt or shiny rock losing value fast, hunters fear their investment turn to sand. Cavemen realize currency strength not just about how much you trade, but how safe others feel trading with you. Weak, chaotic tribes scare shiny rocks away. Calm, predictable tribe pull them in like warm fire in cold night. Cavemen think, maybe stability is biggest spear in money hunt. Elder now point to map and say, look at Japan, big tribe that send many cars to other lands. When other tribes buy those cars, they must first get Japanese yen. This creates high demand for yen, making it stronger. Cavemen think of it like trading mammoth meat. If many tribes want your meat, they line up with their shiny rocks, pushing its value up. Elder give bigger example, the petrodollar. Long ago, U.S. tribe convinced oil tribes like Saudi Arabia to sell oil only in U.S. dollars. Since almost all tribes need oil, they must first get U.S. dollars to buy it. That deal made dollar king of all shiny rocks, strengthening U.S. power. But not all tribes have big exports. Small island tribes like Tuvalu export little, so their shiny rocks not widely used. Many just adopt stronger shiny rock like U.S. dollar or Australian dollar to make trade easier. Cavemen understand, more you export, more other tribes need your shiny rock, more valuable it gets. If you import more than export, demand for your shiny rock stays weak. So export is like mammoth hunt. Bring home plenty, tribe grows strong. Bring home nothing, tribe must borrow from others. Elder lean closer, voice low, like sharing forbidden fire secret. Some tribes no want stress of shiny rock value changing every day, so they tie their rock to bigger tribes' rock. This is called pegging. Example, small, oil-rich Brunei tribe pegs its currency to Singapore dollar, 1-to-1. Means if you have one Brunei dollar, they always equal one Singapore dollar. You can even use either in both lands like same spear in two huts. Another case, Belize tribe pegs its currency to US dollar. One Belize dollar always worth exactly half a US dollar. So if trader bring two Belize dollars, they swap for one US dollar. No guessing, no moving numbers. Caveman grin. Easy trade, no headache. Elder nod, but warn, if big tribe's shiny rocks sink, yours sink too. Pegging makes things stable, but also means your fate tied to theirs. If big tribe catch cold, you sneeze too. Cavemen think it like tying your canoe to bigger canoe in river. If big canoe sails smooth, you safe. If big canoe hit rock, you go down together. Cavemen scratch head and ask Elder, if trade so tricky, why world no use one shiny rock for all tribes? Elder chuckle. Some already try, look at Euro. In Eurozone, many tribes share same shiny rock, good for travel, no need exchange. Cavemen nod. Easy like sharing one big fire. But Elder warn, when you share fire, you also share smoke. In 2009, Greece tribes' money trouble spread to other Euro tribes. Strong tribes like Germany had to help, even if they no-cause problem. Because in shared shiny rock system, you can't just change rules for yourself. Chief Firekeeper, decide for all. If whole world used one currency, a problem in faraway land could burn your own hut. Inflation, crisis, bad leadership, everyone feel it at once. Caveman see now, world shiny rock might sound nice, but risk too big. You tie your fate to every other tribe, even the ones that forget how to keep fire lit. So maybe better to have many shiny rocks, even if it means more thinking when trading. Cavemen think, so if strong shiny rock good, should every tribe make theirs as strong as mammoth tusk? Elder shake head, not always. If tribe import many goods like Singapore, strong shiny rock is gift. You buy from others cheap, tribe save shiny rocks. But if tribe export a lot like China, strong shiny rock can hurt. Other tribes see your goods as too expensive, buy less. Elder tells secret, some tribes even weaken their shiny rock on purpose. This is called currency devaluation. It make their goods cheaper for others, boosting exports. Cavemen blink. You mean tribe make their own shiny rock weaker on purpose? Elder grin. Yes, in trade, sometimes small fish catch more than big fish. Cavemen realize value of shiny rock is tool, not trophy. Some tribes need it strong, others need it weak. Just like spear, sometimes you want long and heavy, sometimes short and quick. So in Money Hunt, there's no one-size-fits-all. Each tribe choose strength that fit their way of living, their trade, their people. Caveman lesson learned. Shiny rock value is not about pride, it's about strategy. Caveman leaned toward magic glowing box and asked you, tribe, did Caveman explain shiny rock value without making your head melt? If Caveman make you smile, think, or finally understand why your dollar buys more in one land and less in another, then do ancient trade. You give Caveman one click on magic scribe stick and smash big fire like button. And tell Caveman in comments, what is most confusing money trade story you hear? Maybe Caveman hunt that topic next moon. Remember, understanding shiny rock value is like hunting. Know the terrain, watch the movement, strike at right time, else you go home with empty hands and cold belly. Until next hunt, ooga booga.